Kan kalian informasi terbaru terkait kegiatan kita selama seminggu ini di Fakultas Kehutanan. Ya, kemarin kan saya ada berikan kalian informasi seluruh mahasiswa, informasi terkait dengan rekrutmen mahasiswa yang akan berangkat ke Jepang. Kita sudah memiliki kandidat ya yang akan pergi ke Jepang. Tolong mohon berdiri dulu. Yang panitianya siapa? Coba yang berdiri yang akan ke Jepang, coba berdiri sambil lihat sana. Say hello coba. Cepat, cepat, Repal. Ini dia. Balik ke sana, balik badan, balik badan. Ya, ini dia kemarin sebagian ya. Ini yang nanti akan berangkat ke Jepang di bulan Juni dengan sponsorship dari Hayashida Company. Mereka sudah terseleksi minggu kemarin ya, 5 hari yang kemarin memenuhi syarat untuk kita ikutkan dalam kegiatan yang di Jepangnya. Nah, sementara mereka selama kegiatan di sini mereka membantu kebutuhan, keperluan rekan-rekan mereka yang ikut program dari Jepang ke sini. Ya, gitu. Nanti saya perkenalkan satu-satu. Silakan duduk. Silakan duduk. Okay, all students like to introduce yourself, not from me, from you. Okay. Okay, maybe you can call your name, what university? Maybe from here, go right side. Okay, please only in Kyoto University do that. Yeah, simple. Sensei, sumimasen.
Hello everyone. Saya Keiko. Keiko. My name is Keiko, and I'm from Kyoto University. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kusumoto Akane. Nama saya Akane. Nice to meet you. I I am Kyoto Prefectural University. Nice to meet you.
Kenalkan, nama saya Natsuki Sugimoto. I'm from Mie University. Nice to meet you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayuki Okamoto from Kyoto University. Terima kasih.
Good morning. Nama saya Hiroaki. Okay. I'm from Kyoto Prefectural University. Oh, thank you.
Good morning everyone. My name is Ayari. I'm from Kyoto Prefectural University. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kotaro Shirokawa. I'm from Kyoto University. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Hayato Saito. I'm from Mie University. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Takato Moriyama. I'm from Kyoto University. Nice to meet you.
Selamat pagi. Halo. Halo. Nama saya Hirai Kana. Call me Kana. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Misaki Sunahara, so call me Misa. Nice to meet you. I'm from Mie University. Thank you.
Arigato gozaimasu. Minasama. Arigato gozaimasu. Ya, tadi sudah simple ya. Simple, jadi simple dalam arti mereka datang ke sini ingin mengetahui tentang program forest. Jadi mereka 2 hari akan nginap di HDTK kita, ya kan? HDTK kita. Silakan kalian mungkin kalau ada waktu silakan datang pada saat kegiatan berlangsung, tapi jangan sampai malam juga, itu kegiatan saja, itu sudah kita atur, ya. Tapi mereka di sana kuliah, kegiatan menanam, ada kegiatan praktek juga, silakan saja. Tapi koordinasi juga dulu dengan Badi tadi yang mahasiswa kakak kelas kalian tadi, ya, kalau misalkan ingin di sana. Karena memang sudah diatur, di arrange kegiatan di sana supaya mereka dapat hal-hal yang mereka ingin. Nah, terus tadi sudah disampaikan ada 3 universitas, Kyoto University, Mie University, Kyoto Prefectural University. Ingat ya, itu keluar di kuis ya. Kuis nanti ya, saya tanya ya, minggu depan ya. Apa hubungannya gitu ya. Nah, terus tadi dari Kyoto University itu alma mater saya. Jadi yang dari Kyoto University tadi itu merupakan adik-adik kelas saya di sana. Cuma mereka di undergraduate. Nah, ini supaya memberi semangat pada kalian bahwa Fakultas Kehutanan itu punya kolaborasi, punya kesempatan untuk memberikan peluang mahasiswanya untuk ya studi, penelitian, apapun itu, hanya saja tadi mereka-mereka yang memenuhi persyaratan yang kita buka. Bisa jadi ini adalah the first. Tadi ada tulisannya kan the first international student. Kita harapkan ada the second, third, terus gitu ya. Nah, disitulah kalian akan ikut serta. Jadi mulai sekarang kalian harus mempersiapkan diri. Bisa jadi ya, di sini juga ada Pak Harmonis. Bisa jadi tidak hanya Jepang ya Pak Harmonis ya, bisa juga kerjasama dengan Jerman. Beliau yang lulusan sana bisa juga menginisiasi kegiatan hal serupa seperti ini. Itu ya. Beri tepuk tangan dulu untuk Fakultas Kehutanan ya. Ya, oke. Oke, segitu saja dari saya. Jadi langsung saja nanti ke Mbak Lisa.
Arigato gozaimasu, Erwin Sensei. Baik, teman-teman Fakultas Kehutanan tadi sudah dengarkan informasi dari Pak Erwin bahwa di sini ada 3 universitas yang berbeda dari Jepang. Jadi silahkan manfaatkan kesempatan ini untuk bertanya tentang apakah itu bagaimana caranya kuliah di Jepang, bagaimana cara mendapatkan beasiswa, ataupun tentang materi yang akan disampaikan nanti. Untuk for all the Japanese students in around you, there is an Indonesian student. So if you want to ask or discussion, you can feel free talk to Indonesian student. Okay? Oke, selanjutnya akan saya persilahkan Bu Anissa sebagai moderator untuk materi kali ini. Silahkan Bu Anissa.
Terima kasih. Good morning everyone. Good morning students. Good morning Sensei. Selamat pagi Bapak dan Ibu sekalian. Izinkan saya menjadi moderator untuk seminar kali ini. So, our speaker will be Mr. Mamoru Kanzagi, or Kanzagi Sensei. He is the Professor Emeritus of Kyoto University. He works at the Graduate School of Agriculture, Division of Forest and Biomaterial Science. And we will talk a lot about Japanese forest and forest management. Feel free to all of students if you would like to raise any issues about that, or if you have any questions related to the presentations that Kanzaki Sensei would deliver this morning. So Kanzaki Sensei, the floor is yours.
Selamat pagi, everyone. Okay, so today I talk about the Japanese forest. So Japanese students come here to study tropical forest. And next, maybe June, some of the students, Bulawasan students go to Japan. We are planning. But most of you cannot visit Japan, sorry. Too many students now today we have. So, can you prepare the file? So what is the image of Japan? Image, Toyota, Suzuki, yeah. Shibuya, oh, I see, very young student, yes. Animation, eh? Yes, sure. Sorry, today I cannot talk about the animation. And today I talk about the Japanese forest and forest management. And sorry. I must. So I work Kyoto University for 23 years. And actually last March, I retired from Kyoto University. Before Kyoto, I Osaka City University. My major is ecology, you know, ecology. But after I moved to Kyoto, I study about the forestry also. And also my major is tropical forest. Maybe I know I know tropical forest better than the Japanese forest. But I must teach to the many students in Myanmar, Thailand, and today in here I talk about the Japanese forest. And for many of Japanese students also don't know what is the history of forest management in Japan, so it is a good time. Okay, so next slide, please. Today, I want to keep time for discussion, so I skip many slides. Okay, please. Okay, so skip, please. Next, please. Okay, so this is a satellite image of Japan. So Japan have a rich forest. Now 66% of our land covered by forest. Do you know percentage in Indonesia? Forest. Yeah. Coverage. How many percent of your land covered by? 67. Okay. So almost same. Yeah. So the quite large forest we have. Okay. Next. And many type of forest. This is the same as in tropical region, Indonesia. So the very, we have deciduous forest. In winter season, the tree, this is the autumn season. The leaves change to red or yellow color. And in winter season, most of the leaves fall down. So this is quite difficult to see in Indonesia. Your forest is mostly the evergreen forest. And we have no dipterocarpus. So main species is oak and beech. Beech is this is no beech forest. Okay, next. This one, beech forest. And in our highest mountain is Mount Fuji, 3,776 meters. Yeah, your mountain is more higher, sure. Okay, and this is a alpine scrub, very high elevation region. So no big tree, only the dwarf, very small trees, and sometimes grassland. And also, we have many plantations. These are the natural forests, and these are the plantation forests. So, next please. Okay, so what kind of tree we plant? This is a first. We have planted a natural forest, not plantation. And we have a plantation. Around 40% of the forest is plantation. Okay? Man-made, one by one, people plant trees. So this is a bit different from Indonesia, I think. So, and which tree we plant? Mostly sugi. Sugi is a scientific name, is a Cryptomeria japonica. And hinoki. Actually, this is the best tree, hinoki, Cames paris obtusa. This is like a teak, like a teak, quite a good tree. But they are conifer. Conifer, you know, conifer, not hardwood species. These are softwood species, softwood, very soft and uh, easy to handling. Okay, next please. Okay, so there. Another big point is in Japan, private forest is dominant. Okay, owner is a private, sometimes company, but mostly small holders. Small holder means some farmer have a forest, okay, and the local community have a forest. And more than the half, nearly 60% of forest was owned by private sector. Okay, this is totally different from Indonesia. Okay, I skip this, please. Okay, next please. Okay, and the sugi and the hinoki, you saw quite different from hardwood species, conifer species, needle leaf, or we call gymnospermum. Gymnospermum in a scientific category. Okay, and the bark is like this, sugi and hinoki. So, please, next, maybe timber? Yeah. And this is a wood texture of the sugi and the hinoki. Yesterday, we saw sunkai, peronema, look like peronema, I think, very whitish. And the sugi is a more red, and the place to place, the color and the pattern is a bit different. So these are the major species in Japan, and most of Japanese wooden housing was made of hinoki. And some part we use sugi. So this is our wood use now. Okay, so the plantation dominant is our forest characteristic. Private forest dominance is another characteristic. So the next, maybe, and also 66% of forest cover. Just 70 years ago or 100 years ago, Japanese forest condition is like this. This is not forest, no forest, treeless mountain. Okay? So why this kind of sad situation come? And this is the most serious case. But many of the forest condition is not so good at that time, 100 years ago. Okay? So now we enjoy rich forest. But actually just 100 years ago, my grandfather or ancestors' age situation is so bad. Okay? And this also near the Kyoto, the mountain condition is like this. Okay, heavy rock, overlooking. Next, please. But last 100 years, we spent much time and much labor, power, and much money to deforest the mountains. So, the same place. This is a photo of 1911, and this is photo taken in 2009. So nearly 100 years. Now situation like this. But still the forest is a bit degraded, but okay, we can accept this situation. And in this age, many disasters. If typhoon come, okay, the surface soil eroded, soil moving to downward, and this soil and gravel and rocks to the paddy field in foothill of the mountain. So farmers' cropland was covered by such a debris flow. We call it debris flow in English. So of the human life also lost by disaster. So this kind of situation should be revised, should be improved. So the national government and local government try to rehabilitate the degraded mountain. Okay, next. Okay, this is a very, one of the professor prepared this diagram. How to estimate is quite difficult. In the ancient time, this is a Western calendar, year eight, just year zero means BC, AD 0 to 20th century. So how Japanese forest changed, changed. He estimated this using the many information. For example, the population in Japan and also land use pattern in ancient time, and estimate this diagram. So this part is forest area. Okay. So around the year 500, okay, more 90% of our land covered by forest, and it gradually decreased. And this part is grassland and fallow. So the mature forest is like this. So until the 18th century, mid 18th century, the forest decreased to the nearly the 50%. Okay, so it cost maybe 1,000 years. We lost the forest continuously, and especially after the 15th century or 16th century, the decrease of the forest was so rapid. Okay, so this is the worst time in our history. It means the most degradation of the forest occurred in 18th century. At that time, shogun controlled Japan, shogun. And in a local state, no. In a rural area, a local area, we have a daimyo, another governor of the state, like a state, or prefecture. Okay, so anyway, this is the worst time in Japan, and at that time, okay, grassland and fallow. Fallows, fallow is a recovering forest after shifting cultivation or slash and burn cropping. Okay, cut tree and burn the trees, fallen trees we burn, and any kind of crops. Sometimes upland rice, nashi, and sometimes vegetables. Okay, 2-3 years cultivation, they move to another side, and the area recovered naturally. This is a fallow land. So forest is growing in this fallow land. And the grassland also very important for people because roof, housing roof, made by the one kind of grass. And we have many cattle, and feeding for cattle, we need a grass. So we have lot of the grassland, we have man-made grassland, man-made. And also, just you saw the slide of the 100 years ago, treeless mountain. Okay, very dangerous place, and many disasters come from this treeless mountain. Okay, percentage is so high, 10% or more was covered by treeless mountain, and degraded forest, and farmland, and towns. Okay, so but after this period, the Japanese try many things. And today I explain the just a part of our history. So many slides I skip. Okay, please. Okay, please. Okay, you know Japanese temples. Okay, this is the oldest temple in Japan. So it established in AD 607 or 1,400 years ago. We established this temple and repair many times, and still the building remain. This is the oldest wooden building in the world, and also this is temple, very big Buddha image contained inside. So this is the biggest wooden building in the world. So this established in 1691, but we re-established after fire. So original building established in 758. Okay, so 1,000 years ago. Okay, this is one of the characteristics of Japan, that everything we use wood. Maybe Indonesia also in ancient time, you have many wooden buildings. Okay, next. Unfortunately, we have no wooden in Japan, so we must repair many things. But mostly hinoki we use. And this is the, castle, Japanese castle, shogun, or daimyo, or samurai use this kind of building as a symbol of the governance. So this kind of wood come from the material for these castles come from the forest. Okay, please. Okay, gradually, Kyoto is here and Mie is here. Okay, today students come from this university and university here. Okay, and this is a center of our Japan's country's development. So start from around here, and gradually we consume forest in this area first until the 6th century. I forget. And gradually the forest was explored, and most of the good timber most of the trees for good timber locked in this area until the 7th century and the next 15th century. And finally, beginning of the 18th century, most of our land was exploited. The available timber for big construction was already removed from the forest until the beginning of 18th century. So you remember that our forest area decreased to 50% in the mid 18th century. So at that time, most of the Japanese forest trees were exploited, okay, already. So this age, we have made very serious problem, many serious problems. And how we utilize, okay, fuel, like a charcoal production. Okay, next, please. Of course, we use for construct the building. And energy also very important use. Okay, skip. How to make a charcoal textbook in 200 years ago. Okay, next, please. Okay, there. Okay, and cattle feeding. And this is a salt making salt. Yeah. So to make a salt, we need some fuel. Okay, we use wood. And this is a mix factory, pottery. Yeah. We use also fuel. Wood. Yeah. And this is an iron making. Okay, traditional Japanese iron making iron. You know, sword also Japanese. So made from this process. Okay, next please. Okay, so our population changes like this. Actually, this scale is not the constant scale. Scale is changing gradually, but anyway, the population increased. And beginning the mid 18th century, our population growth stopped. This is very rare case in the world. So why stop? We still have a discussion. Some researchers said this is a little ice age, climate change. Climate changes to the. This occurred in Europe also. Okay, so this is one possibility. Another possibility is population growth stopped because of the limited land. Japan is a very small land, and especially the flat land is very limited. And the crop production have a limitation. So maybe in the country, maybe we cannot support the population more than the million population. This is a carrying capacity we call carrying capacity. We cannot support people, no food, no space like that. But, sorry. So this age, we have many problems. Okay, so please. Okay, this is like this. Population around this stage, and the forest area also minimized. Okay. Okay, but we, Japan, have a many challenge. Oh, there are no trees available in natural forest. But we improve forest management. Okay, like reduce the impact logging. Okay, take care of the forest and reduce the impact, back impact, okay, to the forest due to the logging operation. So they develop many natural forest management systems. Okay, cut trees and stop logging for 30 years, 40 years. No one can enter to the forest. So this is one of the simple management system. So we adopted selective logging. Selective logging, you know, cut only big trees. The another trees we keep in the forest for next logging. After the 30 year, 40 year, 60 year, we enter the forest and cut big tree again. So like this, we can repeat logging operation. And this is a one sustainable management of the forest. We can produce timbers continuously. Okay? So we developed this kind of management system around the 16th century, 17th century, 18th century. We gradually developed this kind of the management. And these are the very famous forestry area. And another system is a plantation forestry. Okay. Forest is a natural forest management is depend on natural regeneration. But plantation forestry, we must plant and cut and plant again. So this is a plantation forestry. And the plantation, many of the plantation forestry started from 18th century. And some started from 15th century, 15, before 18th century, already some area started the plantation forestry, like Kitama area, very famous, near Kyoto, near Kyoto. So these are the very famous forestry area of Japan, and started in Edo period. Okay, they start business in Edo period. It means 300 years ago. And still, many of the forestry areas still survive. Okay, so long running business of the forestry we can distinguish in our land. Long running, it means 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, the people continue the company or cooperation. I'm not so sure, but the business style is changing, but the forestry operation continue. So long time. Okay. Okay, so the sum of the, I talk about the branding. Branding means, okay, Toyota is one of the branding. If you think car, okay, Toyota, like this. So if we think about the Yoshino forestry area, product is like this. Okay, this is a barrel to carry the sake, Japanese sake. Okay, so at that time we have no plastics, no metal container. So they are this kind of barrel. Okay, and the brewery in western part of Japan sends the sake to all over Japan. So this is a container, like a pet bottle now, or some tank, plastic tank now. Okay, and the boat also. If we think about the Obi forestry area, special product is a boat. Okay, so the place by place, some special product of branding. Okay, so fortunately in Edo period, the trade is rather free. Freely we can move the product from province to other province and make a big business. And depending on the place, wood quality is different because different climate, different management system in the place to place. So the product also have some special characteristics. And try to make a brand. Okay, we say barrel for sake. Okay, we must use Yoshino timber. Like this, we successfully make a brand. No, we at that time people can make successfully make a brand of their own product. Okay. Our plantation at least 400 years ago, and you can check a video when we visit the oldest cedar plantation in Japan. We take a video record. You can enjoy from the YouTube. So maybe I left this file, so if you cannot get the URL, you can check later. But if you can, so this is this is from the video from the Kawakami village in just beside of the Kyoto prefecture. We have Nara prefecture, and we visited several times. Okay, after the uh, uh, Edo, Edo period, when the shogun controlled Japan. After that, we introduce Western techniques. Okay, Meiji なんだっけ Meiji Revolution or Meiji, oh, I speak English, but like are it? Disappear? Okay, so after that, I introduced forestry, very old style forestry in 18th century, 17th century. And then we changed the system to Western style. We introduced the forestry science, forest management system from Germany. Okay? I think your forestry system from Holland, Netherlands, in Indonesia, around 200 years ago. We introduced a system from Germany. Okay, but use a lot of timbers. Okay, we have no coal or no oil or no that time. Not common in Japan at that time. So still the steam locomobile, 機関車 is operated using the charcoal, fuel. And our Western style factory, we use a charcoal. And first time, this Western style iron making plant was operated by charcoal also. So still, we depend on the forest resource much, okay, comparing to the current age. Okay? So the situation is, okay, now I am trying to finish. Okay, so this is a Meiji restoration, isn't it? Meiji restoration. And mid-19th century, we changed the system. We introduced Western system. And the population grows like, what happened? We can utilize the fertilizer. And also the trading started between the Japan and the foreign countries. So economy grows. And sometimes we can import food. Of course, we export silk, textile, and other special products of Japan. And the population growth continue, and World War II occurred around the 1940s. Sorry, we Japan by Indonesia, very sorry, nearly 3 years we occupied and make a confusion. And after that, our population peaked around the year 2000. And now population is start to decrease. Okay? So our dependence to the timber also decreasing. Okay? But with the timbers, World War II, where Hiroshima and Nagasaki city was completely destroyed. But not only these two cities, this is Tokyo, after bombing by US Air Force. Okay? So we must re-establish our country, and we must construct many housing. So we need much more timbers. Okay, so we again increase the plantation of the timber, tree plantation for getting the timber. So from 1951, the plantation area is just 500. The unit is like this. Okay, this plantation increased to 1,000. Okay. double. Okay, so during the 40 years, we increase, 30 years, during the 30 years, we increase the plantation forest again. So you can understand why Japan have such a large plantation area. Okay, next please. And another good point for forest is changing of the energy source. From charcoal, from fuel wood, we change it to the coal. Coal mining is very abundant in here, East Kalimantan. But in Japan also, many places we harvest coal. And coal consumption increased like this. And oil also increased so much. And actually timber, charcoal, we cannot see now. Almost disappear. So the forest we use for the charcoal production or fuel production, no pressure from the human being. So forest is available for planting trees. So like this, we increase the plantation area. Okay, so energy source change is very important factor. We successfully restore the forest. Okay. Okay. So, okay, plant increase. So we are very rich in timber resources. Okay, next please. The percentage of the importing from the outside of Japan increased. So this is the self-sufficiency rate. So domestic wood percentage in our wood consumption was rapidly decreased from 1955, like this. So the worst time, just self-sufficiency rate is just 20%, less than 20%. Another 80%, we import timber from Indonesia, Malaysia, Canada, United States, Russia, so many countries. We collect the timbers all from all over the world. Now, government policy increase the self-sufficiency rate. We successfully increased to 40% now. Now the government target is 50% or 60%. So we will continuously increase the domestic wood use. Okay. And also, I skipped. Okay, please. Okay, so the domestic wood, the consumption decreased. Management people retired or stopped the management. So the forest we planted and formerly the people take care of the forest, but now no one take care. So try to get the management, to try to cover the management cost of the forest. We have forest environment tax. So I pay 1,000 yen, very small amount, 1,000 yen. But every taxpayer must pay 1,000 yen now, from next year. Okay, so this is the environmental tax. So people who, we have some benefit from the forest. Okay, water supply, disaster reduction, okay, climate control. Forest is very important now. So we must pay back to the forest. So this is a concept of forest environment tax. We started from the, I think the 2015, around 15 years ago we started this. First time, this is local government tax. Now changing to the national tax. Okay, and also we try to promote wooden building. okay, if you make a stadium, this is an Olympic stadium. We must use timbers. Of course, not 100%, but government forced the committee to use timbers for this stadium. And public hall or local school, the government forced the people to use timbers, domestic timbers, domestic timber. Okay, so this is one of the trial to recover the forest management, forest industry and the forest product industry. We want to revitalize. Now the economical condition of the forestry sector is bad, but the government policy to move up the stage. Okay? And also, this kind of the tall building we are trying to construct in Japan. This is the 11th layer wooden building. So the new technology was established to use the timbers for this kind of the building. So this is a CLT. You know CLT, cross laminate timber. No? Okay. Okay, and wildlife became a very important issue now. So we have national parks and protected forest also we have. This is a map of the national park. Actually, Japan's percentage of this kind of protection forest, the percentage is not enough comparing to the worldwide standard. So we are still to increase the sum of the protection system in Japan. Okay. What is? It's okay. Skip. And other issue is formerly we eat deer and wild boar. People hunt, eat, but now we don't consume those meat. And the population of the deer increased like this. So the problem now is the overpopulation of deer and wild boar. And we must cope with this issue. This is also a very important issue in our forest management now. Okay. Okay, so this is a short explanation of the Japanese forest and forest management. So maybe our experience is success or failure. I don't know. Sometimes success, sometimes fail. Okay, so maybe Indonesian people or forest student can get some inspiration how to solve the problem occur in current Indonesia. So of course, still Japan have many problems and issues. So every time we must do something and challenging is necessary. But Indonesia now, the very serious condition, I think, the rapid deforestation rate, forest fire, and illegal occupation of the land, or illegal wood issue, maybe, and wildlife also very important issue. So maybe future you must cope with these issues, and yeah, if Japanese experience contribute to your idea, maybe we are very lucky, happy. Okay, so thank you very much for your listening, and also maybe you will organize a discussion. Okay.
Thank you, Kansaki Sensei. Before I continue, I forgot to introduce myself. So my name is Fahutan Nur Anissa. Just call me Ibu Anissa. Anissa. I'm the lecturer of the Faculty of Forestry of Unmul. I joined with the Laboratory of Politics, Economy, and Social Forestry. So just to what is just to revisit the figure, the 60%, the 67% of forest cover in Indonesia. So in Indonesia we have couple of different influences how to manage forest. So 67% is actually forest area. So forest is like native area. Maybe you know about it well.
So actually, there are no forests, but forest is designated as forest area.
Yeah. Yeah. So there will be a non-forest area, but there is forest in there. So just for your description, particularly the Japanese students, if you don't know yet about it, um, and I just would like to deliver again in Indonesia, Pak. Sensei. Jadi saya sampaikan juga dalam bahasa Indonesia untuk teman-teman semua, sedikit mengulang ya. Tadi sebutkan bahwa di di Jepang sendiri mereka ternyata forest covernya sangat tinggi 66% seperti di Indonesia. Tapi di Indonesia lebih ke kawasan hutan ya, sesuai Undang-Undang 41 tahun 99. Kemudian jenisnya berbeda dengan di kita. Kalau di hutan di negara 4 musim itu mereka punya salah satunya adalah hutan temperate gitu karena 4 musimnya dengan spesiesnya tadi ada spesies floranya ada birch, kemudian ada cider, cypress dan segala macamnya. Dan melihat dari dari pengelolaan hutan di Jepang itu diarahkan untuk menjadi plantation forest gitu ya. Di mana dia hutan alamnya kemudian dikembangkan untuk menjadi hutan tanaman ya. Tapi memang menggunakan pendekatan-pendekatan manajemen yang ketat sehingga kelestarian gitu bukan overeksploitasi dan segala macamnya. Cuman kalau dilihat dari sejarahnya tadi terlihat ya bagaimana di tahun 600 itu sudah terjadi eksploitasi dan kemudian masa-masa kritis tahun 1750 yang akhirnya menyadarkan perlunya ada manajemen yang ketat di negara mereka sehingga diimplementasikanlah berbagai macam pengelolaan yang ada di sana gitu. Sehingga akhirnya mereka saat ini justru mengalami apa yang disebut dengan abandoned management ya. Jadi si pemilik hutan ini justru malah meninggalkan unit forestnya mereka gitu. Karena tadi bilang malah banyak orang yang tidak memelihara hutannya gitu. Akhirnya mereka punya stok yang tinggi dan harga kayu menjadi turun dan segala macam. Tapi mereka menerapkan berbagai pendekatan seperti contohnya ada pajak lingkungan hutan, kemudian juga kampanye penggunaan kayu untuk bangunan publik atau fasilitas umum ya, dan juga menggunakan teknologi terbaru untuk membangun tadi gedung bertingkat ya dengan menggunakan kayu dan itu juga sejalan dengan tujuan pembangunan berkelanjutan. Itu dan setelah mengalami berbagai macam sejarah, tantangan, hambatan dan juga peluang-peluang yang ada, mereka akhirnya punya final goal gitu. Tujuan utama dari pengelolaan hutan mereka adalah memberdayakan berbagai fungsi hutan untuk menghasilkan keuntungan atau benefit untuk masyarakat mereka. Itu ya. Silakan teman-teman dapat bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia, nanti kami terjemahkan dalam bahasa Inggris. So, I open the sessions for the discussions to both Indonesian students and Japanese students. If you have questions, please raise your hand and I will just point at you. Please state your name and where you're from. Thank you. So, let's start the discussion now. Tadi Erlina ya?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity for me. My name is Erlina. I'm the master student. From Faculty of Forestry. At the faculty. Okay, I have the question. Is the temperature in Japan give the impact on the wood quality or the growth? The temperature, yeah, give the impact for the quality or the growth of the tree. And second one is, how to protect the building. As we know, so many buildings in Japan built from timber, right? So how to protect from termites, fungus, and the borer? Terakhir itu mungkin dalam bahasa Indonesia. Untuk yang tadi kan bangunannya dari kayu, yang gedung tadi itu tahan gempa atau bagaimana? For the building from the wood, is it earthquake resistant? Thank you.
First question is about climate change or ordinary climate, impact of the effect of the climate to the growth of trees.
In Japan have 4 seasons, so it is give the impact to wood quality and the growth.
Okay, thank you. So the 4 season we call spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And our conifers have a, annual ring. So from the spring to summer, the tree growth is very rapid. So whitish wood composed, white wood. And in autumn, summer to autumn, the growth rate reduce, and some ring appear. So year by year, this repeated. And actually, this is due to the seasonality. And most of conifer keep the leaves even in winter season, but due to the temperature change, the leaf stop photosynthesis. Okay, so this kind of the annual ring clearly appears. And in case of the other hardwood species, like oak or like Cercova, another species, very good trees, but hardwood species, they also have an annual ring. Okay, so most of them are deciduous, so shed the leaf in winter season. So very clearly stop growth. So annual ring will come, stop. Okay, and but mostly the timber quality or wood quality come from the management, not only the season, planting density, and also control thinning operation. Thinning, reduce the density of trees, cut trees and make a space and enhance the tree growth remaining. Okay, so this thinning operation is different from place to place, and initial planting density also totally different. In near Kyoto, the people plant trees just 1 meter interval. Can you imagine if all trees growing up to 20 centimeters, maybe no space, like this. So in near Kyoto, they repeat thinning operation every 5 years. It's crazy as a business. But the coming product from this operation, the quality is very nice, very strong, strong enough, and the pattern of the annual ring is very clear. Okay, and some place just 2 or 3 meter interval they plant. This material is not good for high quality construction. But the rapid growth rate, we can expect the productivity. Okay, so the purpose by purpose, the density control is different, and place to place, climate also change. So this kind of the forest management changing place by place from northern part to southern part. And once we plant a sugi tree in Taiwan, okay, growth rate is very rapid. Oh, very successful. Okay, but timber quality is very low. Okay, so if we use timber for the pulp production, paper production, Okay, tree shape or growth rate is not so, the quality is not so important. So biomass production rate is most important. So acacia, eucalyptus, never think about the tree shape or just increase the productivity, growth rate increase. So the forestry is very like silviculture. This is a very cultural work. Controlling the density, controlling the achieving operation. This is a very, very sophisticated technique. So we call silviculture, like agriculture. Okay. So this is first question. And the second, I forget.
Is about how to protect the building.
Termite. Yeah. Termite is also problem in Japan, especially in the southern part. But not so serious like your country. But first, we select hinoki tree. Yeah, they have a hinoki ore, one kind of chemicals, protect them from the fungi, and the termite also a little bit effective, I think, but not so complete. I think Erwin Sensei is a professional of the termite. So that, but actually, we cannot protect the timbers 100%. So now we use some chemical treatment. Put the chemicals. Was at least keep distance from soil surface. So we put the stone. Okay, and then we put the pillar. Okay, keep distance from soil surface is very important. And we have some business to protect the termite. If the I called to the company and please to remove termite, but removal is very difficult, so they use chemicals. I don't like chemicals, so sometimes some researcher in Kyoto University use some of the repellent system. Some of the sound remove the termite or many challenges. Still challenging. Still it is a problem. Okay, another question is earthquake. Yes. Very surprisingly, the oldest building in wooden building in Japan, one of the temple tower, Buddhism tower, it's continuously stand for last 1,400 years. Even we have many earthquakes. The most of the temple disappeared due to the fire. We have many battles in the domestic battle between the daimyo, between the powered people. So the fire, they burn the temple sometimes. So the many our wooden buildings disappeared due to this kind of domestic war or inland war. Okay, and earthquake. Of course, many of the housing or temples collapsed also. But fundamentally, our traditional technology is avoid the corruption by earthquake, but not 100%. And recently, Kobe, Kobe earthquake. Around nearly 10,000 people died due to in Kobe city. This earthquake also damaged the wooden building. And we, Japanese government, changed the standard of the wooden housing. And now, I think not 100%, but the condition is so better now. And our compliance of we request a very good compliance of the construction company. So, yeah, sometimes the company make a trick, reduce the cost. They remove something from the construction. But very frequently our police department and some organization check. And there are some legal case we have. Someone jailed. Okay, I just know the Turkish and Syria's earthquake. They have a standard also, construction standard. But the constructor not follow the construction. Very surprisingly, and so many buildings collapsed. I hope no case like this in Japan. And I show some tall building, wooden building. They use a very modernized system. Sometimes they mix the steel also. And many of the Kyoto University researchers also study about this kind of building construction. So they introduce new technology. And the building is also clear the standard of the fire tolerance. Okay.
Thank you, Sensei.
Untuk kesempatan kedua, saya berikan kepada teman-teman mahasiswa. Oh, oke. Okay. Ini two questions.
I want to hear from an Indonesian student. Kanzaki sensei says Japan and Indonesia have same 80% of forestry. Yeah, it is same. But then, what is the most different Japanese and Indonesian forest? You think from talking or from your experience? I'm Japanese people, so I don't know about Indonesian forest. I want to hear from you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Introduce myself. My name is Fajar Ramadan Bahardin. I am a forest student at Melawarma University. Okay. In Indonesia, there is a type of tree, namely ulin, which has a high density and is nicknamed ironwood. My question is whether there are three species in Japan that also have a high density and or on par with ulin trees. And next question, the harvesting process in industrial plantation forest will definitely produce waste. My question is how to use the waste from the industrial plantation forest. Thank you.
Okay, so the first question is what is the difference between Indonesian and Japanese forest? Actually asked all of us, yeah, the answers. And then the second one, first, whether you have also three species that has high density, like green. And the second one, the waste, how you use the waste from industrialized wood processing.
Okay, so our major species, timber species, is softwood, so very light. The relative specific density is just 0.56, like this. And we also have a very heavy wood, hardwood. And the most famous one is oak, evergreen oak species, oak, quercus, or Castanopussi. Okay, and but the specific gravity is just 0.8, 0.8. Okay, not like Ulin. They float on the water. So, 他になんか思い切って何かあります？ないですね。Yes, yes. So, actually Japanese timber is very soft. So, our saw, you know, cut trees. Okay, not chainsaw, hand saw. Normally, the Western hand saw or Indonesian hand saw, you use your weight, body weight, cut like this. But Japanese saw, pull, not push. When we pull the saw, we cut trees. No need to use our body weight. just saw itself, they have a very light, but they have a weight. So just like this, we can cut our timber. So, and also sugi is very easy to make a plate, tin plate. Just use a knife. We can make some tin plate. No need to saw. Just cut and crack come and very clear plate we can make. So from the 3,000 years ago, people utilize this kind of timber. Very easy. Yeah. Woodin is a very special wood for us. Oh, incredible. And Bankirai also. Bankirai also. Yeah. Yeah. Ebony, ebony. Yeah. So actually, from ancient time, we import tropical wood and utilize for the temple and very rich man's housing. They use Indonesian ebony or teak also we import. Yeah, 15th century, 16th century, we import from Indonesia because we communicate with Dutch, Netherlands. So at that time, Netherlands can get the resources in Indonesia and they export timber to Japan. Oranda, yeah. We, Japan say also, Oranda. Never say Netherlands.
And the waste use? The waste use, how do
Waste
we...
use, sorry. Actually, we have many waste from the sewing, sawmill in the factory, yeah. And also, yes, yes. And now, formerly, the sawdust used for the fuel, used as a fuel burn. Okay? Okay. Okay? Burn the waste of timber. But now, the local people try to use these waste material, wood material, for the other industry. Like, for example, in Hokkaido, they produce many timbers and sawdust or some bark. Bark means the outside of the timber. Bark. They try to use it for the なんだっけ、cow, なんだっけ、milk production. There are some daily なんだっけ、daily farm. No. The milk production is also one of the major industry in Hokkaido. And this kind of the bark, chipped bark or sawdust used for making the bed for the cattle. Okay. Formerly we use some grass, but now try to use coniferous bark or sawdust. And I'm not so sure this is true or not. Oh, milk production increased when we use coniferous bark. And also the housing of the cattle also now collaborate with the timber industry and wooden building also very comfortable for cow. Okay? Cattle. Very comfortable for cattle. And milk production increased, they say. So the industry, between the industry, now we enhance the collaboration. Okay? Agriculture and forestry and such a daily food production. We try to mix. And also the biomass energy, biomass burning and get electricity, also now very common in Japan. So many of the local cities established such biomass burning biomass plant, and produce electricity for local people. So we also think how to utilize the waste from forest industry effectively. So there are many trials also.
Thank Thank you, Sensei. Saya membuka termin terakhir ya untuk dua pertanyaan. So I open the discussion, the last session for the discussions for two questions.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Yuyun Purnama Saryanton. Di sini saya hanya ingin mengetahui pada di kota Akasikaga itu terjadi kebakaran hutan. Pada tanggal 21 Februari saat itu kira-kira 100 hektar hutan yang hangus terbakar, dan pada saat itu apa penyebab terjadinya kebakaran hutan? Sedangkan di Jepang sendiri pada bulan Februari merupakan musim dingin. Sekian dan terima kasih.
Ya, assalamualaikum. Ya, ya terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Ardiansyah. Yang saya mau tanyakan tuh, kan seperti gambaran yang dipaparkan di depan itu, saya melihat hutan Jepang itu mempunyai kerapatan itu yang hampir sama gitu, dan mempunyai jenis pohon juga yang sama. Sedangkan kalau kita melihat di hutan Indonesia itu, kerapatan tanaman itu berbeda-beda gitu, dari pancang, tiang sampai pohon, dan memiliki jenis-jenis yang berbeda pula, mempunyai banyak jenis. Nah, yang saya mau tanyakan itu, kenapa itu bisa terjadi tuh? Terjadi kesenjangan kerapatan yang signifikan gitu, nah, berbeda dari hutan di Jepang dan di hutan Indonesia. Dan mempunyai perbedaan jenis tumbuhannya pula. Itu sih yang mau saya tanyakan. Terima kasih.
Oke, cukup ya teman-teman. Untuk the first question. So the first question, he asked, what is the cause of the forest fire in Akasiha? Akasiha? Akasiha ya? Akasi. Oh, so you mentioned about the forest fire in the presentation. So she is wondering what is the cause, because that is in January, which is in winter season. Yes. And then the second question, what makes the forest in Japan has the almost similar species and similar density, because it's very different with the tropical forest. Okay. Yeah. One more question.
Baik, perkenalkan nama saya Deska Natalia. Saya mempunyai pertanyaan yaitu mengapa hutan di Jepang itu dialihkan menjadi hutan tanaman? Apakah itu diwajibkan atau tidak? Terima kasih.
So the third question, why do you change the management of forest to plantation? Is it something compulsory, or is it that you have to do?
Okay, so first question about the forest fire. We also have a fire, but all of the fire come from human being. Cigarette and make a fire in the forest. Formerly, we have many forest workers who work in the forest workers. Okay? and they always smoke. And in the lunchtime, they make a fire. So this kind of activity make some risk of the fire. And in Japan, almost 0% of natural cause. Okay, all fire come from human being, man-made factor. And we have a very strong campaign to reduce forest fire in 1970, 80, and now also the people who work in the forest also decrease so much. Sometimes hiking people also make a fire. But now the people's recognize that to reduce the forest fire is very important. And if I make a fire, I will be arrested to the police department sometime. So the forest fire decreased so much, so drastically decreased in 90, after 2000, year 2000. But still we have, and especially in fire occurred in Hiroshima Prefecture and Kagawa Prefecture, Okayama Prefecture, limited area have a high risk because of the climate. Very low precipitation, low rainfall. Rainfall is very small in those areas. And especially April, May is the most risky period because rain decreases so much. And also in the northeastern part of Japan, we have fire. But the most dangerous place is the western, and we call the Japan Inland Sea area. Japan Inland, like Mediterranean. Anyway, locally, still the risk of fire occur. But all of the fire come from human being, so the social announcement or education was very effective at that time. But still we have fire. The second question is about the diversity of the species. Yeah. So as you say, we have two major species, Sugi and Hinoki. And many of the forest students in Japan also know, I know Sugi, I know Hinoki, but other species I don't know. So many students don't know. We have a dendrology training also. But after graduate from university, for example, go to the forest agency, no need to know other tree species. Just Sugi and Hinoki is okay. But situation is a bit changing. Now biodiversity became very important issue. So forest agency, our national authority to manage our national forest, also work for the biodiversity conservation, including the animal, including the plant, including the tree, including the herb species. So now some students are very excellent to identify plant. I think in our group also, oh, very nice student. Okay. So why we use Sugi and Hinoki? One is the quality of the Hinoki and the quality of the Sugi is so excellent. Okay, no need to use the other species for construction. But actually, for example, we produce many kind of the wood tools. For example, the saw. Saw is a metal, but we have a handle of saw, and we have a ball, and we have some plate, able, and we use many species. Okay, the plantation is mostly Sugi and Hinoki, but we use other hardwood species, and we have a very big book. How Japanese utilize so many tree species. And he described around more than 100 species, wood species, how to utilize, for what purpose people used to use this species. The species by species, they describe how to utilize. Okay, and place to place, the timber species is different. We have a boreal forest, very cool temperate forest, and very subtropical forest we have also. And depend on the climate, species different. So the plantation forestry mostly produce the timber for construction. But the ordinary people or for other material or other product, the people utilize many species. So I don't talk about such a diverse tree species utilization today, but actually we have very rich tree species and very rich traditional utilization of timber. So it is almost same as Indonesian system.
Okay, so the last question is, why do you choose, why do you change the forest management to plantations? Is it compulsory policy?
Forest management system?
Yeah. In your presentation, you mentioned a lot about plantations.
Yeah.
Is it compulsory?
Yeah. Yes. Until the 18th century, we totally depend on natural forest. And we extract timbers from natural forest. And timber stock decrease, and no more enough timber available for our construction work in the big city. That is the 18th century. The Tokyo have a 1 million population at that time, 18th century. Quite a big city. Maybe at that time the biggest city in the world. So the Tokyo at that time, Tokyo have many fire. The town housing burned, and the castle also burned, and the government have no budget to reconstruct castle. Yeah. So, but ordinary people need housing, so very quickly we must supply timbers. Okay, you can understand. So the go to natural forest and cut big trees and bring to the foot here and sowing. Very troublesome and cost time and price increase. So the people try to plant sugi and hinoki in very close to the village. Or sometimes the people plant the timbers in their cropland, like Indonesia. Now farm planting is very popular, and in those timbers, no need to be big. The timber not for construct a big building like a temple or shrine or castle, but ordinary people use very small timber. Okay, so plantation is enough to produce this kind of the timbers. So to support the demand, to supply, to fulfill the demand, we shift to the plantation forestry. But simultaneously, we need a timber for big construction. So still natural forest, we continuously manage. So after 18th century, the two types of forestry go together, plantation forestry and natural forestry. But unfortunately, after World War II, 1945 or 50, our national government select plantation forestry should be the major forest management system. And still the private sector try to keep the natural forest management. It's a selective logging. But national forest all changed to the plantation forestry. And private sector also follow. And natural forest management disappeared in some places. But still, we have a big tree in the forest. So sometimes we return to natural forest to get big timber. So station like that. So the fulfill the big demand, we need a plantation at that time. And the station not so different from now, even now.
Yeah. Thank you, Kanzaki Septe. Unfortunately, the discussion session is closed right now because we have to move to Rectorate building. Please give big applause to Kanzaki Sensei. It's really productive discussions. Saya kembalikan ke MC ya. Oh, Pak Arwin.
Terima kasih ya mahasiswa ya, antusiasmenya luar biasa. Ada 3 pertanyaan tadi berbobot sekali ya kan, dijelaskan sampai melewati waktu. Kayak saya juga ya, kalau beri kuliah lewatin waktu ya. Nah sama ya. Nah jadi karena 10.30 kita harus ke rektorat, ada opening pembukaan. Kalian harus lanjut kuliah HBK ya, ya kan. Nah ini